There we go. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna farm these because I do want some more green titanite. I'll need it later. Remember when I was showing off the stats on the Zweihander sword? Later on, I'm going to turn it into a holy sword. And at that point, I will need green titanite to make it stronger. That's a ways off though, but right now I have a source of green titanite right in front of me. I might as well make an attempt at getting some. I've got 2 so far already. I got earlier. I like how when you switch between one-handed and two-handed wielding of your weapon, it ends up with a completely different moveset. Hey, Doggo and Reyna, whenever you've been invaded by a bunch of people, did you guys ever get invaded by the fashion police guy? That guy's funny. I remember reading about that guy, he seemed pretty funny. But for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know if the guy actually named himself Fashion Police, he might have. But there was this guy who would go around the game invading other people. And what he would do is he wouldn't attack you, he would just show up in your world as an invader. He would check out what equipment you were wearing, and he would judge your equipment based on like how it looked, like whether or not he thought he looked cool. And if he thought you didn't look cool, he would drop new equipment for you that would make you look better, like that would benefit your current ensemble, so to speak. And then if you picked it up and put it on, he would praise you and then leave. And that is the story of the Dark Souls Fashion Police invader. I think I'm going to stay two-handed for a bit, because that's going to benefit me on this next boss here. Alright. Now, this next boss has a name that I find very entertaining. It's a name that sounds very perverted if you have a dirty mind already. And yet, that is not what it means. There's some loot around here as well, which is what I'm looking for. Now we could summon, who's this one? Let's see, we can summon Solaire for this again, but you saw what happened last time we summoned somebody for a boss. Alright guys, you guys ready for the most accidentally named boss in the game? Because here we go. Look at him, isn't he a cute little guy? Welcome to the giant mouth with wings. And the unfortunately named Gaping Dragon. In fact, it's best not to lock onto this one. So what we need to do here... Well, first of all, we have to remember that there's a big pit over there that it came out of. You can fall in that pit if you're not careful. Now we gotta wait for openings. This guy can mess up your day real bad if you're not careful. You can't just go at it. Oh shit, I almost died right there. Oh, okay, now I did. See what I mean? Very nasty boss, but once you've learned its patterns, not as bad as it seems. Now, one thing I will say is that the tip Doggo just gave in chat is most of the time an excellent tip. However, the Gaping Dragon here is the one exception to it. You do not want to get all up in the Gaping Dragon's business. It is bad for your health. Because he doesn't have long reach attacks, he just... His body is his attack, essentially. There's one on the roof, it's over there, okay. Give me more Titanite. Let's make him fall so I don't have to worry about him anymore. There we go. Give me your stony essences. So I can rub them on my weapons. Future weapons. Yeah, what Doggo was trying to explain there, Hawkeye, was the idea that any enemy that has a really long reach on its weapons, because it's like some sort of giant thing with a big, huge sword or something, you can take away its reach advantage by getting too close to it, so that it can't hit you with its long reach anymore, because you're underneath its weapon swings. Which is a very logical tactic, but it's nice that the game actually works that way. So we've seen the intro, so let's go right in. Now that is one of the things you want this guy to do. That slam attack is one of the times he leaves himself open to attack. Gaping Dragon was left wide open. Wink, wink. Also, cutting off tails. It is a thing we do in Dark Souls. For various reasons. One of which means he's got at least one attack he can't use anymore. The other reason is it will usually give you a special new weapon. Such as the Dragon King Great Axe, which I won't be using. I just wanted to cut his tail off because screw this guy, that's why. Alright, so you get 4 attacks and you get the hell out, because he's... That movement, that's not just movement, that's an attack. That's Stampede, and he will flatten your ass. Does a lot of damage. I'm actually a little bit sad that Dark Souls 3 stopped the tail cutting tradition, because I thought that was fun. Alright. Now we're in keep away mode until he does something like that. Okay, now get the hell out of his way. This is how you Dark Souls. Get in your hits while you can, and then you get back and you'll let the boss give you another opening. Alright, buddy. See, he was trying to do a tail sweep attack on me right there. You see that? Oh. Guess he had Chipotle for dinner last night. Come on. Do something other than walk at me. Do something I can use against you. Ooh. That was almost very bad. I actually find it funny all the nasty stories you hear about people having problems after they eat Chipotle, because I've eaten at Chipotle and it didn't do anything to me at all. But maybe that's the difference between American Chipotle and Canadian Chipotle. UBR's actually has health and sanitation standards. Or maybe it's just because I'm used to spicy food, I don't know. Maybe it's just, maybe you only get these nasty Chipotle stories out of people that aren't used to spicy food. I was raised on spicy food though, so I love it. I think what's nice about that little routine is like, he does one thing that leaves himself open. And then he does another thing that leaves himself open again. Take that, sucker. Alright. And now, we move on to one of the most infamous areas of this game, Blighttown. Although I find Blighttown kind of fun, but it is dangerous as hell, and we should probably equip our Blooming Purple Moss Club, because we are going to need it. The other thing the reason I'm not terribly impressed with Chipotle either is because we have another, we actually have like 2 other places here where I live that are similar types of restaurants but are better. Chipotle's alright though. I mean, Chipotle is good. But there are better places, at least in my town. And they both have hilarious names, actually. So, one of those places is called Mucho Burrito. But my favorite of the 2 of them is called Burrito Gringo, which I think is hilarious if you know what gringo means. And for those of you who don't know what that means, gringo is the Spanish, I believe, slang, which is basically a word used to refer to foreigners in a derogatory manner. And look at all the stuff we've got. Some vitality. Yeah, Burrito Gringo, it's delicious. Their food is amazing. It's so good. And their name is hilarious. I would say that Chipotle is actually similar quality to their food, but Burrito Gringo and Mucho Burrito just have more topping options for them. Chipotle has a surprisingly lower number of toppings. Weird. Actually, another funny thing I should say about Burrito Gringo, they took one of their local, there's like 2 or 3 of them here, and they took one of them and they added hamburgers to the menu. And trust me, a hamburger with like proper Mexican salsa and sour cream and jalapenos and stuff on it is awesome. But they added burgers to their menu, and in order to acknowledge the fact that they have a more North American style menu, at least for that particular location, they changed the name of that one. That one's not called Burrito Gringo, it's called John Juan. Which I think is funny as well, because I think Juan is the Spanish version of the name John. So it's like his name is John John. Ooh, Hawkeye, you picked up Satellite Rain and Original Sin? Nice. Those are really good games. I actually did a playthrough of Satellite Rain on my YouTube channel a while back. Before I started doing Twitch. Now I do both, like I said, but... Hawkeye, did you ever play the older game Syndicate? And I don't mean the Syndicate first-person shooter that came out a few years ago. I mean, like, the strategy game that came out, like, back in the 80s. Because that's essentially what Satellite Rain is replacing. But if you already knew that, that's probably why you bought it. Yeah, that was a good game. Hawkeye, do you remember the level where there was the parade going on? You could take out your Persuadertron and just walk down the middle of the street and you'd have a small army soon. It was awesome. Okay. Before we go to Blighttown, let's talk to this weird-looking guy.
And good day to you. I'm Donald of Xena. I'm just, well, a peddler of sorts. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them. Well, that is a shame, but no matter. No, not to worry. Come back again. I'm always available. Not every trade was meant to be. There'll be more in store for us someday, sometime.
What's this guy's voice? Now, I don't want to buy anything from him, but I'll show you what he's got. I don't really find this to be very useful, honestly. But he's got... The interesting thing he sells is crystal straight sword, these crystal weapons, basically. Now, the thing with these crystal weapons is they're very strong. But... see, a fully crystallized straight sword. How such a weapon was created is entirely unknown. Crystallization boosts its attack, but makes the blade brittle. The sword cannot be used for long as it cannot be repaired. So...
well, that is a shame.
They're strong weapons, but you can't repair them, so that's why I don't like them. But they're stronger than other weapons of their type because of that. It's a trade-off thing. Alright, it's time for Blighttown. Now, back in the original version of this game, it wasn't very well optimized, and this place used to be very laggy. I've heard that they fixed that here, though. Actually, I've watched somebody else play through this version of the game, and I've seen it, and it has been fixed. Alright, now, we have a very dangerous new enemy here, but watch this. We can trick this. We can trick the first one, at least. Hey, buddy. Come get me. Come get me. Eh? What are you gonna do? Hmm? Wanna fight? Oh, you can't use ladders, can you? Okay, he's stuck, I think. Normally you can trick this guy into falling off the cliff. Like, he tries to swing his club at you and just falls off the thing. But it looks like he's stuck. So we're gonna do this instead. Whoops. Dodge too slow. Oh god, this could be really bad. I don't want to be stuck here. There. I didn't want to get back into another one of those guys. Let's try this again. Come and get me, sucker. Yes, I know you're very angry. And there he goes. Bye! And that's how you do that. And we're gonna have to actually fight this one, I think. Actually, I could bait him back into it, but that gets too boring if we just do that over and over again. Ah. Whoa. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go back up here, even if just so I can cast a healing spell. Save an Estus flask. Okay. Follow me, or... Yeah, he did. We'll plunge attack him to death. Or not. Be careful dodging here, because this thing curves behind me. Can't just blindly roll backwards. Whoa. I'm surprised that didn't hit me. Okay, got it. Come on. Now, I will be wanting to wrap up the stream for the day soonish, so when I get to the next bonfire, we're going to call it. I want to give it at least another 10 minutes, though. But I don't think we're going to get to the bonfire that fast. I don't know what that weird downward stab was just now. Like, no. I don't want to be back up against that. Okay. God, I could really use some sparkling titan, or some twinkling titanite. I need to improve this sword. Alright. Haha, sucker. Got him. Does Skinny fucker crawl out of the fat one? No, but it kind of looked like it. Now here comes one of the most dangerous things about Blighttown. Thankfully it's an enemy that will be permanently dead once killed. Won't reappear. Oh shit. Yeah. Toxic. Oh god. Toxic is bad. Toxic is really bad. That's why we have this stuff. I need to swap shields, actually. I have another shield that resists toxic better. Or poison in general. Yeah, toxic lasts just as long as regular poison, but it does so much more damage. Okay, let's see. Spider shield. Spider shield is good at resisting poison, as you can see. I think that's what the ox effects would say at the bottom there. Much resistance to poison. This will help us beat these guys with the tox. Basically, there's these guys with blow darts. And if you get hit with 2 blow darts, then you are toxic, infected with toxic, which is very... Well, you saw how much damage it did. So this is not a great shield in general, but it's about the only way you're going to get close to these guys without luck. Also, if that guy grabs you with that attack, mucho damage. Ah, they got me. But the good news is, the guy with the blow dart's dead and he's not coming back. So we can feel better about that at least. The downside to this shield is it's not great for most other things. It's still good for physical. Actually, it's okay at fire too. But still. Okay, we're not going to bother fighting the slimes anymore. We don't want to waste time. I know this is great games done slow, but that doesn't mean we have to stop and battle absolutely everything we see the whole time. Yeah, I know what you mean, Hawkeye. I definitely died more often in this game the first time I ever played it. I think this is my 5th or 6th time through the game. Although I haven't gotten all the way through the whole game that many times before. I've beaten the game, I think I would say, twice. But I've played a few other characters that got pretty far through. Alright. Oh, don't be obsessed with no. Here, can I... There. What about that? Come on, man. What are you doing to me? What if I make noise? Hey, I'm over here. No? Try this again. No, you're just gonna stay stuck there. What if I just walk away from you? No? No, you're not stuck anymore. You're a jerk. Go, 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 go. And how about now? Now you're ready to fall off? Still trying to use the ladder, eh? Fine, I guess I'll just have to kill you normally. Oh, come on. Ugh. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, spoke too soon, Hawkeye. Ugh. Just now I have a way to heal poison. I only have one toxic cure left though, so I have to be careful with that. Thankfully I know where those guys are. The one fell off. There's two other ones still here. Oh, nope. One other one still here. Let me see the first one to fall. That was the first one to fall, okay. Is this the damaged one or the new one? He's the new one. Oh well. I did 3 damage by landing on his head. Oh, come on, I was dodging that. Rude. There we go, have some backstab. Yeah, it took that guy a minute to give me his souls when he fell, because that's how long a fall it was. Took him that long to die. Come on. There we go. I have to fight another one, yay. Thankfully these guys are easy to backstab. Uh-oh. This guy can be dangerous if I leave him unchecked. He's got that grab attack I was telling you about. Oh, yeah. Reckless. Remember what Doggo was saying earlier about don't get greedy in this game? That's what happens when you get greedy. You get smacked around. Yeah. For some reason, though, the backstabs turn off your target lock, which is annoying. So you can always tell they're going to go for the grab attack when they stop and yell. Like that. It's a good opening to use against them, though, if you manage to avoid it properly. If you don't avoid it properly, then... ow. That happens. Ooh, there we go. Hey, Raina, don't worry. You don't have to go recruiting to build a family here. Remember, Doggo's the one that adopted me, not the other way around. Forgot about these guys. Let's not get ourselves surrounded here. Oh, I thought that guy was gonna fall to his death. That would have been awesome. There we go. Slow and careful. And yes, I did see the butt pun. That was a good one, Hawkeye. Did damn near kill his rectum, didn't I? Oh shit. See, I told you that was bad. Look at that. That's a lot of damage all at once. Not nice. And you can't block it with a shield either. It's a grab. Very bad touch. Okay. Now we can get this item and move on with our lives. Yes, now to keep them. Now to retain it. As the tick once said. Okay. So we are now teasingly close to the next bonfire, but teasingly far away. It is... Oh, hello. He's just down there. See that little bridge down there? It's just on the other side of that. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be super easy for us to get to. Plus there's another blow dart guy around here somewhere. A little bit farther that way. Now I could try jumping down to get that item, but that's a dexterity based sword I don't really want. Plus I might get killed on the jump attempt. Not worth it for me to do right now. Hey buddy. Right now it has been 36 minutes since I last rolled over a recording. We're going a little bit long on this YouTube episode. That's just because I don't think I'm going to be going long enough to do another whole YouTube episode's worth, so I'm just going to go a little bit long on this episode, and that's just going to be the way it is. I gotta be careful here. That will crumble if you land on it. That's a trap. Also, Hawkeye, skip the obvious jokes? I mean, come on. Obvious dad jokes are the best dad jokes. Dad jokes are great when they are terrible. They're not about actual quality, they're about being as terrible as possible on purpose. That is the essence of the dad joke. There's our bonfire. And there's also some fiery death waiting for us down right there as well. That's right, doggo. Intend your puns. Exactly. Don't say pun not intended. Intend your puns. Victory! This little doggo is way more dangerous than he looks, by the way. These little bastards can breathe fire. They're like hellhound puppies. They're the worst. Okay, let's spend some souls and call it a day. Let's take some more vitality until we get to 20 because arbitrary reasons. Alright, thanks for joining me today, everybody. Thank you for the donations, those of you who did. Thank you for being here, everybody. I will have to go check out Lady Electa's channel and thank her again for the raid. Hawkeye, thanks for sticking around. You've been a good friend. Like I said, we'll be continuing this game tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be playing some Far Cry 5. And Great Games Done Slow will be over at that point, but I like to stream on Saturdays anyway, so feel free to drop by and check out some of the ending of that game. I hope to see all of you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.